I can feel the music play. I don't got no plans to play. All I'm gonna do is sway, rocking out away. Cause I tried to find somebody, someone to call my own. But baby, don't need nobody. I'll dance on my own, dance on my own. I tried to find somebody, someone to call my own. But baby, don't need nobody. I'll dance on my own, dance on my own. This own sway, this own sway, this own sway. I dance on my own, dance on my own. This own sway, this own sway, this own sway. I dance on my own, dance on my own. Hey, think I'm gonna need some space. No, I don't wanna see your face. No, it's gonna be okay when the music plays. Cause I tried to find somebody, someone to call my own. But babe, I don't need nobody. I'll dance on my own, dance on my own. I tried to find somebody, someone to call my own. But babe, I don't need nobody. I'll dance on my own, dance on my own. This own sway, this own sway, this own sway. I dance on my own, dance on my own. This own sway, this own sway, this own sway. I dance on my own, dance on my own. But nobody, so dance, somebody. Dance on my own, dance on my own. Hey, I can feel the music play. I don't got no plans to play. All I'm gonna do is sway, rocking out away. Cause I tried to find somebody, someone to call my own. But babe, I don't need nobody. I'll dance on my own, dance on my own. I tried to find somebody, someone to call my own. But babe, I don't need nobody. I'll dance on my own, dance on my own. This own sway, this own sway, this own sway.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Winner's Circle. Samantha here, and I have a very special guest tonight. I have Marisabelle Poucher. She was the Open Bikini Overall winner, amateur side at the Florida State Natural last year, which means she earned her pro card. So this year, June 5th, at the Florida Pro, she is going to be making her pro debut. But we're going to talk a little bit about this entire journey, what brought her here, and how she's feeling getting ready to go into the show. So let me bring her in. All right. Hello. Good evening.
Hey, good evening. Hey, Sammy.
How are you tonight?
I am good. A little nervous, but I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, it's not like you're standing on stage with a room full of people in a two-piece. So, right?
Right. Exactly. I mean, it could be worse. I could be in a bikini and heels in front of a bunch of people.
So speaking of that, how did you get it? Like, how did you get into bodybuilding? What was the one thing that you said, hey, I want to get on stage, I want to compete? Because in many of us, I think in a lot of women, that's not something naturally like we want to set ourselves up to do, right? Like we judge ourselves enough on a day-to-day basis, and to get on stage in front of a panel of judges, a room full of people, that's very stressful and nerve-wracking. So what was it that made you say, that's what I want to do?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, let's see. At the very beginning of my journey, the person I do have to thank for bringing me into it is Pam Chichester, who was my coach for my first 3 shows. She was the one that saw it in me to start competing and to get on stage. So at the beginning of 2020, I started prepping, and then I stepped on the stage for the first time in August of 2020. Um, and then, obviously all that COVID hit, so I had to figure out how to do such a long prep and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, that was one of the things that brought me in. And then at the same time, I had my son Henry, July of 2019.
So let me ask, so
So it was kind of one of
he was just a little baby the first time you stepped on stage.
Yeah, he had just turned 1 when I first stepped
Oh.
on stage, and it was kind of one of those things that it motivated. Another reason why I got into it is because it motivated me. Like, I had an end date to kind of get my body back to what it was before a child. So that was helpful. That's another thing that kind of motivated me to do it. So
Yeah, so that's motivation for all the women out there. Bouncing back from childbirth, it can be done. It takes a little bit of diligence and some discipline, but not all is lost.
yeah, yeah, not all is lost. Not all.
No, no, no,
Some.
no. All right. So, yeah, it's just Robin says she got those prep arms too.
Oh, trying.
So, okay, so this is fun. I'm going to give a little recap of my interaction with you. So, I'm not sure, I may or may not, I don't think I was at the Southeast Natural in August, but I was at your second show in October of 2020, and that was the Central Florida Fall Classic. And I will be 100% honest with you. I thought you had that open bikini class. I thought it was all yours. Now, that goes to show that sometimes the judging panel sees things a little bit differently. And I felt like in that show, they went for a thicker, a little bit more muscular look for bikini, more so than what I think fits the criteria. Not that she was an incredible athlete. She absolutely was, but I had you in first. But that, I'm just one person. That's why it's always wonderful to have a panel of judges. But I actually have a little clip from that, and I am going to run it. And this was like the first time I had an interaction with you. And of course, I fell in love with you immediately, but here we go. I'm going to run this. Hi, I'm here at the Central Florida Fall Classic, and one of the toughest divisions that we had at prejudging today was the open bikini class. And I'm here with
Marisabelle Poucher.
and she is definitely one of the top runners for that division, which will also be a pro qualifier for whoever wins that division. How does that make you feel?
Excited, nervous, very nervous. So, because of course that's what everybody works towards, that pro card. So, of course I'm nervous and I'm very excited. So I hope the package that I brought this time around is good enough to be considered at least for that pro card.
And this is only your second show.
Yes, this is my second show.
And, have you fallen in love with bodybuilding?
Yes. I think I have annoyed my husband and my family with this whole thing. So yes.
Now back home, you have an amazing support system. Why don't you tell us about them?
Yes. Okay. So my trainer is Pam Chichester, and we're in Crawfordville, Florida, from Body Tech, and she's been amazing this entire time. I've also got my family and my husband and my little baby and everything, and my family. Everybody's been very, very, very supportive.
Well, we can't wait to see how you place tonight at the evening show. You looked amazing at prejudging. Your presentation on stage is flawless. That's really what caught our eye. So good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh my gosh. How does that bring back some emotions or what?
It does. It does. Oh my gosh. It almost feels like it was so long ago. It feels like it was so long ago, really. But it kind of wasn't at the same time. I don't know. So yeah, it does bring back a lot of emotions.
I thought that would. I had to throw that up there for you. Now, what were some of the major improvements that you feel like you've made since earning your pro card?
Since earning my pro card, so since June.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my physique is going to be, hopefully, once we shred everything off, going to be slightly different. I guess like I wouldn't say the best critique I got, but one that
Mm-hmm.
I always think about, is that now one of the judges told me, you look good. Now
Mm-hmm.
let's make it great. And so I'm really hoping that my physique is not just good, it's great this time around. And then my posing. I am really working on my posing. There are things that I go back and I actually watched your live video from the June show, and I go back. I'm like, okay, I should have done this. I want to fix this. So every so often, I'm tweaking where my foot is, what I'm doing, where my hands are going, and so
That
we'll see.
That is awesome. So one thing that we were speaking about, I want to bring this up really quick before we went live was, of course, when you first started, Pam was your coach. And I want to make that clear with a lot of athletes in the industry that just because you switch or an athlete leaves a coach doesn't mean that there was like a bad, that there's bad blood or that there was sometimes we kind of want to try something new, test new waters, try different methods. So I just wanted to say that because I know I mentioned her there because she was your coach, but you've since then moved on to a different coach. But I know Pam, and I'm sure she's supporting you, and you guys are just as close as you were before. And I always just want to reiterate that with athletes that it's okay to move on or try something new. And a lot of coaches will still support you and still stand by you. I've had clients leave me as well, and I'm still like their biggest cheerleaders. So yes, that's just the nature of the beast in this industry, and it's not always a bad thing. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, change sometimes is good. And that goes with, this, community that we're in and the bodybuilding, stuff like that. Change is good, kind of like a new aspect, a new feel for things. And I still see Pam every day. We went to a show this past weekend where Michael competed and a lot of people from Body Tech competed. And Pam was
Awesome.
there competing as well. We all hung out. Everything's good.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
it happens.
they're
So,
fun. That whole group
yeah.
is so much fun when they get together. Um, okay, so so moving, I want to jump back a little bit. So you did that October show, and then you took a really long break. And in between that October show, which was in 2020, you didn't get on stage again until the 2021 Florida Pro, was in June. But there was a little something special that happened in between those two shows, and that was your husband stepping on stage for the first time.
Mhm.
And I remember I was also at that show as well. And I just want to give people a little peek at why I love you guys and why I love being around you. I love talking to you guys and the personality that you guys have together. So I'm going to run this little video and you're going to remember this as well.
Hey there, just want to say hello to the family watching us. We're really excited to be out here for my first show. I got Marisabelle here, who definitely inspired me to get out here. So looking forward, want to say hi to George and Maria and Lori and Ray and Tracy and Marty, and of course our son Henry. Thanks for all your support.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for your support. And I want to ask you a couple of questions, Michael.
Okay.
I want to see, what do you think is the hardest thing about this prep bodybuilding life?
Probably prepping at the same time as you is probably the most difficult thing. It's been a little tough. This car ride up here was interesting, to say the least.
Okay. I'll let that one slide. Who is your biggest supporter?
It would be you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Very good. Well, good luck, Michael.
Thank you, Marisabelle. Thank you.
I can't. Yeah, that I do remember doing that.
You are great on the mic. I think I'm going to have to take you on the road with me.
Gosh, I still have to go back to like the hardest thing is prepping together because we're doing it right now and it is hard. So yeah, fun times.
What are some of the hardest challenges?
To prep together, I think the biggest one is time because it just takes time. I mean, if I'm not at the gym, he's at the gym, and if we're not meal prepping, we're taking, Henry, something's going on with Henry. I'm giving Henry a bath and he's meal prepping the chicken. So it's time. It's time and the balance. That's all. That's what it is. And then you get aggravated with each other.
Yeah.
Somebody forgot to pick up chicken. There's no chicken at the house. And then somebody has to run to Winn Dixie to go get some chicken. So it's a lot of just time and balance. I feel like that's the hardest thing. And I know that sometimes when you're on prep or on low calories or low carbs or whatnot, you can get kind of irritated with each other. And I don't even think that's our biggest thing. I really just think it's the balance of it all is the hardest thing to do, especially with
Mm-hmm.
Henry's about to be 3. He'll be 3 in July. It's a
Oh my
totally different
God.
ball game from last year. I mean, he's an actual like little human being that's fun to be around this time. So it's totally different this year with prep. So
Yes, yes. Is he going to be at the Florida show? Will he be in attendance, little Henry?
we have not decided. Maybe, maybe not. We haven't decided that one. We've got to talk about it. Of course, I would love to bring him.
Right.
Um, but it just depends. It depends on what type of little Henry he is leading up to that weekend. To be honest, because
You,
you put so much work into all these things, and my mama heart, if he's crying or something, I want to be able to give him my full attention, and I wouldn't be able to do that,
that's
So
true. That is true. Those cortisol levels might just skyrocket.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that for sure. So I okay, so you guys prep as a couple. So I'm assuming he's doing the Florida Pro as well.
Michael,
Yeah, is he doing some shows leading up
he
to that, or is he
he
gonna take
he so he just did the
something in
NGA.
Tampa?
Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Amateur Extreme in
Mm-hmm.
Tampa. He's doing the Gator Classic this weekend.
Okay, back
And
to back.
then back to back, yep. And then, which is, by the way, so fun.
So fun.
If anybody, that was a little bit sarcastic, but no, it is fun, but it is definitely a lot of time. But it's gonna be good. I'm excited, and we're both excited for this weekend. We're actually gonna bring Henry this weekend to the Gator, so Henry will
Okay,
be with
cool.
us.
So he could
Um,
earn his pro card there, and
yeah,
is that his plan? And maybe do like a
and then maybe do June. So we'll see. We'll see
ooh,
if he does June or not.
I like
There's a lot of
this.
things that need to fall into place to be able to do June.
Okay.
A lot of things. So we'll
I
see.
like this. Okay, good. See, so this is something that we all have to watch and follow and see how all this unfolds, right? These are the stories and the storylines that we want to create and follow so we can all kind of like be cheering and seeing what happens. So, have you been watching any of this winner's circle?
Yes, I try to tune in as much as I can. I did not watch the last one that you did, but I watched Robin's. I watched
Yes.
Robin's while I was giving Henry a bath because they're usually in the evening, and usually Henry's here, and right around now is dinner slash getting him to the bath. So I had Robin there. I'm watching her, and I've got Henry in the bathtub, and I'm like, okay, you got 5 minutes to play.
That's great.
So yeah.
Oh, that's great. And that's what I want. I want you guys just to follow each other's journeys and get to know a little bit of a backstory. So, were you an athlete like growing up or high school, college?
Okay, so I was in high school, I was a band nerd.
Oh,
That was that
I
was
didn't
me. I
see
was
that
in marching
coming.
band. Yeah, I was in marching band
Don't tell me you
in
had
high
like a
school.
giant like tuba or something. Like,
No, I had a very small little clarinet.
okay, okay. Okay.
I played the clarinet for 7 years, and I did marching band for 4 years. So yeah, that
Okay.
was the athletic part of me. And everybody says like, the marching nerds and band nerds, but I mean, marching was athletic. I mean, we were
Yeah.
out there all the time. At least from my school, we took it very serious. So we were out there all the time. I would say it's athletic. So
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, that's one of my, when we go to the Florida Gator games, that's one of my favorite parts at halftime is watching the marching band go out there. And it definitely has helped with your timing on stage. Would have to say that, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think some of that stuff has helped out. Like Yeah, for sure. Like even when I think about my T walk, for example, I do try to pick a song, or I will at least for June show. I haven't picked one, but I will try to pick one where I could walk to the beat of it because that's in my head what I should be doing. So
Right.
I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, no, that's the only athletic. And then after high school and college, we didn't. Man, I'm so shameful to say we didn't do much anything athletic. I mean, my husband has always done like baseball off the side and stuff like
Mhm.
that, but no, not me. I just was Marisabelle. That's it.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad that you found this sport, as it seems to be a great match for you and your family, and you're doing fantastic at it. I think good things are going to happen in June. And is there anything else that you want to share, or anybody else you want to shout out, or um, any stories you want to share with maybe some of the women that might be watching? Anything at all? Um,
Well, I mean, I want to shout out to anyone and everyone who's ever supported me or messaged me on Instagram or on Facebook. I mean, everybody, you all know who you are. Like always, saying something, and then also Showtime Keith, and
yes.
everything for supporting me as well. We saw him this past weekend, and he's always telling me that I have to come out to the light because I'm so silent on Instagram. I never post anything, and
I know.
he's he's always doing like the clock-ins and everything, and I don't do the clock-ins. I just, I work from home, so I just kind of take any opportunity I can to go. I just go and I come back real quick, like in 30 minutes, done. I don't have time to do anything else. And then but yeah, no, shout out to anybody and everyone who's helped me out, supported me, my trainers, Pam included, and then Jill and Zeke as well. Body Tech, who's always been there for me, my family right now taking care of Henry so I could do this because Michael was at the
Yay.
gym.
Thank
So
you. Awesome. Awesome. Well, you are going to have a huge cheering section on June 5th. No doubt about it. And I'm a big fan. And I've never been secretive about that. Like, I've always been a big fan of your physique. Maybe because you're little like me. I don't know what it is. But
we got to stick together. I'll tell you
we,
what,
as
as
little
little
people.
people.
Yeah. And hey,
So
on that note, I'm going to be sending you a link and I'm going to show you where all the fun little people finds are on Amazon.
I need it. I'm always looking at your photos and I'm like, where did she get the skirts that fits for our
For
size
little
and like
people.
the tops? Because I mean, we can't buy normal dresses or skirts because they're twice as long on us and then they don't fit right where they're supposed to fit and then we just
Never.
look like we're swimming.
Exactly. Story of our life. Story of our life.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there's that, and then there's also having a good seamstress or tailor on hand always.
Yeah, 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 you definitely I do have one, yes. So, but yeah, no, I'm really excited. And I don't know if Daryl is there, but I'm wearing his shirt that he gave me a while ago. But,
I love it.
finally got it on. Because to be honest, it's one of those like tight shirts. I don't know if you could see it.
And
Um,
you're rocking it, by the way.
well, I am rocking it now. At the beginning of prep, at the end of my off season, I was like, I'm not wearing this until I lose a little bit. So
So your arms look fantastic already. Like Robin said earlier, those delts are popping. Good little
I'm
biceps.
trying.
Yeah, you're going to do great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on tonight. And I'll be cheering for you.
Thank you so
Aw.
much, Sammy, for having me.
Yes, yes.
And thank you, Holly. Anybody, I mean, this is the first one I actually looked on the screen and I can see Holly, but if anybody else has said anything, thank you everyone for supporting me and everything. Robin, I love you guys too. I love everybody. I've
Lacey.
never, hey, Lacey. Oh, Lacey was like my first person, and she knows this because I went up to her and I totally geeked out when I first met her. Lacey was like the first person I ever saw on Instagram. I was like, oh, I want to look like that. So Lacey, you are amazing.
She
Daryl's
is.
always amazing too. Yeah, no, I just love this community. I talked about marching band. Marching band was like my hobby in high school, and then I went through college and I didn't find a hobby, and I can now safely say like I have a hobby, which is Marisabelle doesn't have hobbies. My husband has hobbies all the time. If he's not playing baseball, he's playing golf. If he's not doing this, he's doing bowling, something. I finally have a hobby, and I'm just so happy. And I'm happy that I get to share it with my husband too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it couldn't be better. That is like it's like the perfect scenario. And it is like a hobby because when we're not on stage, we're honing in on our craft, right? There's always something that can be done, something small, something every day. It's all those little tiny things that add up. So
Yeah,
cool.
there's always
This is my
something you can
hobby.
work on.
All of
There
this.
you go. I mean, it's just so cool to have a hobby somewhere where you can kind of like release your stress and our hobby comes with like some extra stuff. It comes with a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else. I mean, that's awesome that it comes with a healthy lifestyle because that'll just come down to our kids too. Hopefully Henry will have a healthy lifestyle too and it'll
He
just be
will.
good all around. I'm just happy.
Well,
This is good.
you guys have the one boy family just like me. I have the one little boy, and they do see and he's about the same age as Zach was when I started really getting back into competing, and they see and they everything registers with them, and you don't have to push anything onto them because they're absorbing it without you ever having to say anything too much about like nutrition. Like Zach is 12 now, and he knows protein, carbs, and fats. He knows, we go to eat a steak dinner. No, I'm going to skip on the bread because I want to enjoy the prime rib. Like, I don't have to tell him not to fill up on bread. Like, he just knows. He understands it. And there was even a scenario in school where it came up and they were talking about some tribe or some culture in history, and they were very sick and they weren't developing muscle, like, and no one could understand why. They were gardeners. They were harvesters. And my son was like, well, were they eating any protein? Were they getting any meat? And the teacher was like, no, actually, that's the answer. That was the problem. And she was shocked that he like connected it without them even getting really into it. And I was like, oh my gosh, proud mommy moment.
There you go. There you go. That's what it's all about. I love the community. I love what this hobby, I guess, has taught us, and I mean, little Henry, he's over here he'll be 3 in July, like I said, but he's over here, he knows to pour like the protein powder into the thing, he closes it up, he knows to shake it. I mean, we got him down
cute.
his favorite thing, rice cake and peanut butter. He'll eat it all day. So
Hey, that's it. He's part of our little cult now. That's
There it
like that's it. Rice cakes and peanut butter. Oh man,
Yep.
this was so much fun. I'm so glad you jumped on here. You're one of my favorite people. Like I said, you guys are just hilarious together. I love the energy that you guys put out, and I know I'm going to be busy come the Florida Pro weekend, but I'm definitely make a point to. Actually, maybe I'll just give you the microphone and you can. No, I'm just kidding. But I am going to make it a point
Don't do that.
I'm going to make it a point to definitely walk around and interview as many people as I can, because it's so fun to be able to pull those out of history and replay them for you guys and just relive like those moments and those emotions that come on those days as we kind of come through the ranks here in our bodybuilding careers. So I love to be able to bring that to you guys. And
Yeah, that'll be great.
yeah. All right. Well, have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you, Sammy.
Yes. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.